Taking a look at an astrological birth chart allows us to better understand ourselves and others. In this video, we will be exploring the 12 houses to help you understand what area of your life each house represents. Welcome to Miss Lisa Astrology. I'm your host, Lisa Madalena, and I help seekers discover their true potential through the study of astrology. To learn more and keep up to date with the current astrological energies, follow me on Instagram at LoveMissLisa, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Your astrological birth chart is a snapshot of the sky at the exact time and date of your birth. It's going to show you exactly where the planets were transiting. An astrological chart is 360 degrees in total. It is split up into signs and houses, which are all approximately 30 degrees. Each of these 12 houses represent a certain area in your life. Each of these 12 houses will help you decipher the area of life that you experience the energy of any particular planet. Life's journey consists of different activities, emotions, work, ambitions, hopes, dreams, and relationships. And each of the houses will represent that separate area of your life. Your chart is a map of your individual personality and your life. And so every single one of us will have all 12 of these houses in our chart. Let's go through the 12 houses. We start off with your first house. It is the house of self. It is you, your outward expression, and also what you look like on a physical level, what your facial features are, what your body type is. It is how people perceive you or see you out in the world and how you express yourself out to others in the world. Depending on where your first house is in your astrological chart will determine all the other signs and their placements to follow. It is known as the lens through the rest of your astrological chart can be seen. Next is the second house, and this is the house of your earned income and self-worth. It's all about money and possessions. It's how you earn your money, what you possess in this lifetime, what you acquire, and how you acquire it. It will give you a clear picture of your ability to earn money and how you actually spend it. The third house is the house of communication, your day-to-day activities, and short distance travel. This is the house that's going to govern the way that you speak, write, think, anything to do with communication, your logic and memory. This house will also lay out your relationships with your family, specifically your siblings, as well as your aunts and uncles and neighbors. Next is the fourth house, and this is at the bottom of your chart. It is the house of home, past, present, and future. It's where you came from. It's all about your ancestors, your family in your early life, but it can also represent your current family and home situation. It will represent the current home that you create for yourself in your domestic situation. It's also considered one of the mystical areas of your chart because it is secretive. It's what we keep protected and secluded from the world in our homes. It's the place where you call home on a physical and emotional level. Next, we have the fifth house, which is all about creativity, fun, and life, romance. This house rules over everything that you do for pleasure and anything that you do to express yourself on a creative level. It also will describe your sexual nature. It's also the house of gambling and taking risks in life. So next we have the sixth house, which is the house of service and the house of health. This house rules your relationships with your co-workers, your employers, or your employees if you have your own business. This house is also about health and wellness. Being the house of work, it will also show you how organized you are in your life and how hardworking and organized you are. It's also the house of health and wellness. Could very well show you any type of illnesses or diseases that you may come across through your lifetime. The seventh house is the house of partnerships and relationships. It will show you your marriage. It will show you other types of relationships you have in your life. It concerns the ability for you to work with others. It's also the house of open enemies. The 7th house is opposite the 1st house of the self. And so this is the part of the chart where we start to work harmoniously with others in order to achieve certain goals. The 8th house is a house of transformation. It is death and rebirth. It also represents other people's money, taxes, inheritances. It is sometimes called the house of spiritual transformation. Rules the life forces around you. So sex, life, rebirth. This is also the house of psychic powers and occult knowledge and studies. The 9th house, which is opposite the 3rd house, literally widens the lens and the aspects of what you've learned and what you've acquired in the 3rd house. This house is all about higher learning. It's about mental exploration, your philosophies in life, your beliefs, and long distance travel. The 9th house is where you go out into the world to experience other cultures and languages, as it is governed by long distance travel. And as you are out in the world discovering all of these things, you're expanding your way of thinking and your philosophies. The 9th house rules your public expression and any type of publishing or writing that you may do. And next, at the top of your chart, you have the 10th house of career and public standing. This house is opposite the 4th house, where we are more inward and in private in our own homes. This is opposite. This is at the top of your chart. This is about your ambitions, your career, what you do outside of the home, your outward expression in the world, your profession, your status in the community, and your public reputation. It's the house of ambition and attaining your goals. It is the outward expression of your talents. It is where you accept responsibility, and it's the place that you arrive through your own efforts. The 10th house has the greatest influence on your material success in your life. The 11th house is all about your friends, your long-term goals and dreams. It governs your participation in organizations or groups of people, clubs or societies. It's where everyone works together with their own unique individual personalities and strengths in order to achieve a common goal. The 12th house covers everything that is beneath the surface, anything that is hidden. Our subconscious, our dreams, our self-undoing. It's where our secrets lie. It's also said to be the place where spiritual debt or spiritual karma is. It's also the house of secret enemies, escapism, any type of hospitals, asylums, prisons, anywhere where a person would literally be hidden away from the rest of the world. It's also to do with our subconscious, like I said earlier, in our dreams and psychic powers. This is the house where you would find your meaning in life. It also governs your spiritual practices like meditation and prayer. It is the last place where you can discover the meaning of your life. Now, you may have noticed that each house that I just spoke about has a very big resemblance to each zodiac sign and what they represent. And that is because each sign governs a specific house. Aries, for instance, is the ruler of the 1st house. Taurus is the natural ruler of the 2nd house. Gemini, the 3rd, and so on. The houses are divided into 3 groups. The first group is the angular houses, and these are the 1st, 5th, 7th, and 10th house. These houses and planets in these houses would indicate where you would achieve some type of prominence in the world. So you've got your 1st house of self and personality, your 4th house of home, your 7th house of fortune in partnership or marriage, and then your 10th house, which is your position, your honor out into the world. Next, we have the succedent houses. These are the 2nd, 5th, 8th, and 11th houses. Any planets in these houses are going to indicate stability and willpower in your life. This is the second house of finances, your fifth house of creativity, eighth house of regeneration, and then the 11th house is your hopes and dreams. The third group is the cadent houses. These are the 3rd, 6th, 9th, and 12th houses. Planets in these houses indicate that you are mentally active and communicate your ideas fully. The 3rd house is your day-to-day communication. Your 6th house is your day-to-day work. The 9th house is your house of your higher mind and mental exploration. And then you have your 12th house, which is the house of your subconscious. So your 1st, 5th, and 9th houses are going to show specifically more information about your life. Creativity, your energy, your offspring, learning, and conviction. Your houses of wealth are going to be the 2nd, the 6th, and the 10th houses. And these show the relationship between your work and day-to-day, your earned income, and your career and standing in life. The relationship houses are the 3rd, 7th, and the 11th house. Your 3rd house is the house of the relatives and your neighbors. Your 7th house show your partnerships and your marriage. And then the 11th houses the 11th house is to do with your friendships and organizations that you may be a part of. The 4th, 8th, and 12th house are considered the houses of endings. The 4th house can represent the later years, the end years of your life. The 8th represents your death and regeneration. And then, of course, your 12th house is your spiritual reward and your debt. When looking at your astrological birth chart, you're going to want to see exactly which planets are in each of these areas of your life and how they are being expressed. This is going to help you better understand yourself and others around you. It will give you amazing and accurate detail as to what you're supposed to be doing in this lifetime and where you would put your energy in this life to be more successful. To learn more about the planets and the energies that they represent, I will put a link to my video in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.